IL starts as soon as the level starts, and ends on the white screen at the end. Which I'll point out as well. This first bit, you don't need to worry about rushing too much. You got plenty of time to get up to the console, which takes you to the next area. Recommendation for when starting off, come over here and pick up this sentry turret. Then just run through here. Come up to this. If you're doing it quickly, you'll get up here and have a few seconds to wait before this will actually come up. You can just hold it. Skip the cutscene. Quicker than that, preferably.
This is the first pylon.
Negative.
Muscle run as best you can.
Hope you don't mind
Remember
looking
to
a little.
try to avoid doing it up hills.
Contacts.
Yeah, as you come around this corner, pop this guy in the head. Even if you're doing the quick method, always shoot that one in the head. So if you're just starting off, I recommend deploying this turret just here. And doing button jump. So you jump up here, crouch jump up onto this bit, jump on here. Now this is the tricky part of it. It's just here to you. We want to make it onto that rock there. Excuse turret, please. Thank you. So what we need to do is run partway along this, jump, aiming for that. Whilst you're in the air, you want to like move your where you're looking towards the right, and it kind of curves chief for some reason. So run, jump, and I stuffed it up. Ran too far along it, and I got bumped by that. So yeah, jump on the button, crouch jump on here, jump on this. Careful, it is quite slippery. Ah, and I am wonderful, aren't I? There we go. Try to avoid crouching until you're very close to the rock, because you don't want to lose your momentum and not actually be able to make it. So we'll go over this again. If you're doing the quick method, I mean, you can still deploy the... I guess deploying the turret's more like the medium method. Because if you're really starting off, you can just decide to kill every one of them. Yep. Jump up here, jump up. And then you got here. So I'll go over this a bit more. This time doing what you should do for practicing at least. Because this is a tough trick. The start of it mainly. Pop him. Over. Okay. Occasionally, like what just happened then, is the game will eat the turret. So just clear these guys. Do not, I repeat, do not throw grenades to kill these fuckers. At any cost. Don't do it.
They're connected,
So yeah, jump up onto this button. Crouch jump onto here. Jump up again. Whoops. Looking towards that. And make sure you actually hit the jump button. Again, I went too late then. I got bumped by that. So even if you're well practiced in this, you can still stuff it up. Okay, next we jump up onto here. Don't just walk off of this, there is a hole there. If you walk off too slow, you fall down that hole, you will die. So don't do that. And come over here. There's a couple of methods for doing this next bit. So one is to jump off of this rock. And you'll land around there. Then you'll just do a crouch jump onto those rocks. Jump over to that rock. And then jump over to there. So, been a while since I've done this method. Jump over here. Crouch jump onto these rocks. Crouch jump up here. And onto this rock. Pity I didn't get a checkpoint after I killed all of them. That would have been nice.
And they're back. Coming down the walls.
So always kill him because he is the only one with an automatic weapon. And if you get shot whilst you're jumping along, it can kill your momentum and you won't be able to make it. The next option is to come up to here, crouch jump onto this, and then just sprint off and land on that rock. And then we'll proceed to do the other jump. So, just coming over here and landing. The last one, which is the trickiest and more recommended for IL, especially to start with, is you can get a nice slide jump by like landing around here, and it will fling you over to there. So the first two methods will just come here, run, and then you can see, hopefully you can see it well, there's a little drop here between, yeah, that's a better sight for it. So you want to be jumping off of here. That'll give you the height and distance, and we want to be aiming for like this smooth patch of rock here. So aim at it, sprint, jump, crouch very late. You don't want to be crouching early because you may not make it. The IL method, which is risky, but it's slightly quicker and it's cool if you pull it off. Hopefully I can actually pull it off. It's been a while since I've done it.
And they're back. Coming down the walls.
Ah, you bastards. What the hell, I'll just pop this. I'm not in any rush. And they still get me, because good game is good game. Is my turret actually doing anything? Seriously, you're... No? You don't want to look slightly in that direction. Okay.
Those weren't the same things we saw in the terminus.
Similar cortical footprint as the tower AIs. They're connected.
Oh
all
my
right.
god. I practiced this before streaming and was nailing it. Now, of course, as soon as I'm actually streaming and doing a tutorial, the game's just like, nah, bruh. Okay, so yeah, come up here. You get a nice slide jump over there. That was really smooth, actually. I like that. So, there's your 3 methods for doing that. Once you're over here, be careful of your sprinting, especially if you do the slide jump. You'll have less sprint. So from here, I want to jump over to this part. Whoops. So I gave you fall down here. Ah, come on, where am I? Where am I? Have I? Please, hang on. Sorry about that, I had too much glare from behind me. Okay, now I can actually kind of see. Am I? Oh, okay, I know where I am. Here we go, okay. So that was more complicated than it should have been. This is where you'll land. That's where you jump from. See if we can get back over there. Yep, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. So come over here. Run, jump over here. Over onto this rock. Now this is where if you've did the slide jump and you haven't recovered enough stamina, you may fall short here. So make sure if you did the slide, maybe just walk for a second to get some sprint back. Hey Cruiser, yes, I'm a console peasant while doing this tutorial. Run, jump, muscle run along the way, jump, crouch, jump onto here, crouch, jump to here. Can be a bit tricky getting on this rock, especially more in this middle and right bit, so try coming on the left here, but not too left, you don't want to fall down. And it is quite a slippery rock, as you can see. Come over here, over here. Now, you can't exactly see it, but there is a ramp there that follows the line of that shadow. We want to land on there, so aiming to the left of this pole here. And I fell short because I am just brilliant that way. That's alright, I can show you the whole process as it's meant to be.
And they're back! Coming down the wall!
Why, game? Why now do you decide to eat the input? Nope, there we go. There we go. Okay, then you'll come up an incline, and as you get to this bit, where you can like see that, you jump, it'll load the map, so you can see where you're going. And you want to make sure you stay in the middle, do not fall off the sides, until you get to the very end here, where you see this angle in the structure. Then you can drop down this little hole here. I'm making this tutorial because I have been asked to. And then there's meant to be a whole bunch of enemies in this area that you're meant to fight, but we've just skipped loading them, so we don't have to worry about them. Run along here, up onto this rock, crouch jump up here. Now you can get a nice slide jump by coming off of here and on the other side of that rock. So run, jump, and nice crouch jump over here. Don't muscle run up this hill, just sprint. Make sure you get over that gap. Then as you sprint up here, jump off of these rocks just before you get to the door, so you muscle run into that freeze, which that freeze will always happen if you do that skip. Come along here. There's another slide you can get here by either hitting the edge of that rock or hitting the incline there, or decline, I guess is the better word. Oops. So, come here, run along. I got a decent one. And we come over here, melee this thing. This is important. This is why we keep the grenades. Run over here, throw one grenade in there. If you don't see that explosion of purple, just come to this part here. You can actually look in and shoot the core. Otherwise, just run past these bastards. Come up here, wait for the checkpoint. It usually takes half a second to a second, and it's worth it, because if you miss this, you lose a lot of time. that is one way that you can lose it because of that watcher there. So throw the grenade down, you'll see the purple explosion.
Great.
Doesn't matter if you miss it if you get the checkpoint. If you do, then you have to run down there, destroy the thing yourself, then run back up the way that I did. The next, we jump up onto here, crash jump here, sprint, and we want to jump in this little corner bit between the platform and this thing here. So crash jump onto there, crash jump onto this, and then just muscle run to the elevator. Now we actually have a few seconds to breathe. There's not much time off in this run. You got like 40,
The beacon was
maybe
pulled
40
directly
seconds
into
to a minute
They
on
tried to follow it.
They'll get caught in the
Reclaimer,
gravity well.
then a minute 40 on
I'll keep trying
Composer.
to warn them. You just get that beam
Aside
down.
from that, you're pretty much going all the time. Once you get up here,
That's the beam control.
sprint the whole way, because if you're able to sprint between A and B without having to muscle run once, it's quicker than muscle running. So just sprint that distance and activate this.
They had
Come
it
along here, make
together.
sure not to fall in the center,
There's
you
still
will
too
die.
much interference to warn them. We've got to disable that other beam before they're pulled in like we were.
Those weren't the same things we saw in the terminus.
Similar cortical footprint as the tower AI. They're connected, all right. I was wondering why Infinity.
This next section can be
Covenant
fun.
yet.
There's a jump we have to do over
They're heading
this
to the second
area
pylon
and
as well.
can be difficult,
That
especially if the
can't be
enemy
true.
is shooting you.
Sounds like the Prometheans
We
don't
come
hold the
down here.
Covenant either. The BattleNet's already lighting up with reports of resistance all around the
Muscle
pylon.
run, jump up here. Now, very old method was to jump onto that and then jump over there, but it can be difficult to land on and really difficult to get up there. So, if you can get it, good on ya, but it is very difficult. The other method is to come along here, and we want to land on top of this bit here, and then get on top of that rock. So jump over, crouch jump on top, and then we want to land on there. So you want to be jumping from around this bit, then onto this. If you fail this jump, and you fall short, so that's where we wanted to land, just come over to the right here, crouch jump up, and then run along the ramp. So if we're
BattleNet's already lighting up
doing
with
it
reports of
full
resistance all
pace,
around the pylon.
I recommend you have the assault rifle out. So though we're not killing anything, we are... Whoops. That was great of me.
The BattleNet's already
We
lighting
are
up
wanting
with
to
reports of
shoot
resistance all around the
watchers that
pylon.
come around a corner
Drop pods.
in the hopes that they don't slow us down when we're trying to get a ghost. So come along here, run along, shoot these guys a little bit, and run along here, run at the guy, and then hold X as you're running, and then again hold X when you actually get in the ghost to get out of it, because it's quicker to get out of that first ghost and then into the second than it is to stay in that ghost. We just follow this route. This corner can be a bit tight. With this bit, aim your reticle up. You don't want it to get not lock on. You don't want it to go red at all, because then it'll drag you towards the enemies and slow you down. Come along here. Through this next door is an elite and a Banshee. You want to kill the elite before he has a chance to get in the Banshee. So come up to the door, go at him. He's more likely to die if you hit him with the wing. It's okay if you just push him out the way. Occasionally he will get to the thing, hijack if possible, otherwise revert. Then we want to aim for this little thing here. And there'll be a point where you stop moving, where you hit a wall, Once you reach that, just look down and to the right towards this platform here. You boost down. You have to go under another wall and just spin around, going straight up as we come through here. Make sure you go higher more than lower, because there is an invisible wall which, if you hit it, it will damage and maybe blow up your thing, so don't do that. So come over here, get the Banshee, aim for this. Hit the wall, look and go down to the right, go under the second wall, let your thing recharge, spin around. Go up high, come down. You will freeze here. Make sure you go close enough to the door that an objective marker turns up just now. So if you killed all the enemies at the beginning for button jump, you'll have 2 objective markers here. If you didn't kill them all, you'll only have 1 objective marker. And we just come over here, do this. It is faster to get into the second one because the first ghost just sits there for a while. There's actually so it won't do anything for quite a few seconds. So it's quicker to just hop out of it and hop into the other one, which will activate straight away. You come through here, pull out your pistol. This is pretty much the only killing you have to do. So come here, as the grunts jump out, headshot them, and then shoot the jackal. Here you have 2 options. On both easy and legendary, it is quicker to go left. There are more Covenant on this side who will be more preoccupied with shooting the Prometheans than you, so it's safer on legendary, and because you're not getting shot so much, you can run faster on easy. Over there's more Prometheans who are more likely to shoot you, so come over to the left. And just run up this thing. Come over to the right here so that you don't get shot as much. Ah, that knight just meleeed me, the bastard. So, okay, here, on easy it doesn't really matter because the chances of you dying are really small. But if you want a checkpoint, hop onto that and you're guaranteed one as it lifts you up. Otherwise, crouch jump onto this, and then jump up onto here. And just run straight through the middle here. For some reason, this line is just a line that the enemy will not shoot you. Even on legendary, that's the line we run, just because it's like you're invisible to everything, I guess. I don't know, it's just you don't get shot if you run the precise line. And we jump over to here, jump up onto this. This can be tricky to run on, and you don't want to be falling off. So if you want to, you can just go to the left there and run along there. Otherwise, run along the edge. Hope that you don't get shot. Then jump up where there's this little decrease in the side of the thing, and hold X. No, you can ask me, crew. There's shit that I won't be thinking of. Just because it seems so basic to me. So if you're bringing up questions that you have, it'll help with the tutorial, so go ahead and ask, man. Unfortunately, this will probably be the only level I can do, because the next level... Oh, I can do shutdown. So, from here, just sprint until you get to this hill. Now you can muscle run because there's lower gravity and it'll actually help you. Then just get in the ghost and hold left trigger. Just hold it the whole way. And then just steer through this. This part is more difficult on 360. It can still be hard on MCC because you can flip your ghost on absolutely nothing. So it's kind of RNG as to how smoothly this goes. Normally it isn't too bad. Try to avoid hitting grunts if possible. There's a small chance that your ghost will flip if you hit one of them. Just following the very straightforward path. The only jump that's really difficult is the very last one. So the meleeing whilst mid jump is basically gives us infinite sprint. So we have a sprint timer. What we do is we jump in the air so that we carry the momentum of the sprinting, and then we melee so that we cancel the actual sprint usage, so that when we land back on the ground we have more of it, and that'll allows us, if you time it right, like if you go on a flat line and you muscle run every 1.7 seconds, you can run infinitely. It's quicker, like it's better over longer distances, but if you are able to just make a distance without muscle running, it's quicker. So this jump, I hold like the left stick in the 9 o'clock position to land that jump. It is RNG though. Even if you act right and do countermeasures, you can still fuck up that last jump just because the physics in that last section is messed up because, well, the planet's core is exploding.
Chief, there.
And that is Forerunner, unless there is another question, and then I will move on to Shutdown because I don't have time to do Infinity right now.
Mayday, Mayday! This is the captain of the UNSC Infinity. Unknown entity has seized control.
Because Infinity is a long level. It should have been 2 levels. Alright, let's